Hello and welcome to the Mindset RX series of the Alpha Movement podcast. My name is Tom Foxley and I help functional athletes gain the champ's mindset. Before I get into the show, reminder about seminars. see if I can do this from memory, I haven't got the page up. The 17th of February in Kennington, the 19th, Kennington, that's London by the way, the 19th of May in Wet, and the 20th of October in, where am I, Boston, and then 27th of October in Richmond, Virginia, or just outside Richmond, Virginia. So if you want more information about coming to see a Mindset RX seminar where we'll go over the full mindset side of being a functional athlete and give you the tools that you need right now to start applying to your life to gain a champ's mindset, whether that's in WODs or out of WODs, then head over to mindsetrx.com/seminars. Today on the show, I want to talk to you about the power of non-negotiables. Non-negotiables, actually before we get into this, let's go for story time. Now, every time I do one of these podcasts, the routine I usually go through is I'll do my my normal businessy kind of boring stuff that I have to do for the business, and I'll get that done like 7:30 to 8, and then what I'll do is I'll go through a few other bits and pieces, then I'll jump in the shower. And whilst that's doing the kettle boil for coffee, whilst I'm in the shower, I'll also be thinking about ideas for this show. And I was in that show today and I was thinking, in that shower today, and I was thinking, oh God, I feel completely uninspired and I don't feel like I've got anything to say today. But today is the day that I record. Monday is a day when I record a podcast. So get out there, Tom, and record this podcast. So I need something to think about. I need something to discuss, something that's going to help you guys who are listening, something that's going to be interesting. And nothing was coming to mind. And then I was feeling the not pressure, but the fact that I had to get this out, or I was going to get this podcast out. And I was like, but this is, I've got nothing to give. So of course it hits me that in a kind of avant-garde way, the only subject to do this podcast about is about non-negotiables, because Monday morning podcasting is a non-negotiable for me, and it makes it very easy for me to turn up and do the work because it's in my diary, it's in the things that I do every single day. And this is so transferable to training. We look at our nutrition, we look at our training sessions, look at mobility, and the only way to do it is get them in your calendar, get them into the things that you do every single day, and have it as a non-negotiable. And by non-negotiable, I mean non-negotiable. It's not, I'll do it later, I'll do it at a different time, I'll put it off until tomorrow. If Monday is your mobility day, or your let's say your hip mobility day, you do hip mobility on a Monday. If Tuesday is your day for food prep, then you do your food prep on a Tuesday. And if you implement this idea of non-negotiables throughout your life, it makes things so much easier. And I do this for every single area of what I do. But there's an important thing to note, and that's the concept of the minimum effective dose. Quite often when we go for something like this, when we start implementing non-negotiables, we hold ourselves against the ideas of perfection. And perfection is an impossible to attain dream. You're never going to become perfect in anything you do. So the idea is progress. We've got to start small, and if your issue right now is, I don't know, not getting nutrition in because it's February and everyone's fallen off that January bandwagon. If you're really struggling to get nutrition, like proper nutrition at the right time and the right quantities, then trying to do every single meal from day one is borderline impossible. That being said, if you focus on just breakfast or just lunch or just dinner, it becomes a whole lot easier. So start with a minimum effective dose, start small, and please don't overwhelm yourself if you do go for non-negotiables. And that, guys, is a very short podcast, but I think if you start implementing that on what you can do, it's hugely powerful. I mean, the athletes I work with, we all get some sort of non-negotiables into our life. Or we develop this kind of rigid with flexibility, this routine, kind of al dente, if you will. That's the approach we're going for. We're going for al dente structure in our training and our nutrition and all those other things. Now, if you enjoyed the show, please leave a 5-star review. I've noticed the 5-star reviews are going up, so this is obviously working. So head over to iTunes, leave a 5-star review. It helps the podcast reach more people. And of course, seminars. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Subscribe to the show. And if you're in the London area on February 17th, get yourself a ticket now. If you're in Weert in the Netherlands or nearby on May 19th, get yourself a ticket there. And then the States as well on the 20th and 27th. I know the States is quite broad, but you can find it. 20th and 27th of October, and go to mindsetrx.com/seminars, and I'll see you very soon.